everybody, this is Mateo, and it seems like we lost a 10-second clip in between the two episodes. Basically what happened is I walked into Damsian Castle after it was destroyed. And that was pretty much it, and oh great, Anna's on the floor, and there's Mr. Blonde Man. Quit being a silent protagonist, defend yourself! And now Tella is fighting the Bard with his bare hands, because the ice rod is more likely to miss, even though in the back row Tella is more likely to miss. With his fists, it still works out, and you just gotta hit him enough to make him to progress the scene. Now, if you were playing an earlier version of this game, I think it was just the early Japanese version though. But if you were playing that, then you'd run into a glitch where you wouldn't be able to get past the scene if you didn't put Tella up in the front row, which I did not do, so I could have gotten in trouble there, and I really do think it's bad to put Tella in the front row because he's a spellcaster and doesn't have much armor. But either way, that's over with it. You don't actually control Tella, you just see him beat up a guy, and you just watch it happen, and they say some things, but whatever. And Golbez, his powers are beyond words, and he attacked Damsian to get the crystal. I think these guys have the fire crystal. Not sure though. I mean, they're kind of near the desert, so that makes sense. And Anna gave up her life to save Edward. Oh, if only Anna were named Bella, I could make a Twilight joke, because I've never read that book before. But oh well. And oh my god, I swear, that's like the second one in this game. It's rated T now. Nah. That's fine. If you really are that sensitive, then you can press the little red X button and you can leave. So yeah. And my god, swearing and violence. Okay, and old men running to their death. Tella's left the party. That's the actual reason that I had him using his fists and no equipment whatsoever, so that I could make more use of his equipment either by giving it to somebody else or selling it. For instance, Radio's going to get the ice rod, and I think either Radio or Edward's going to get the feathered cap. And that's pretty much it. Might give Edward the iron ring, or I might keep him with the ring that he has, the ruby ring, I think it is, which raises more magic defense than defense. And more violence! But not very many monsters cast spells at this point in the game, so it suggested that you use the iron ring instead. But now, we tell Edward that we need his help to go to the antlion to get the sand ruby. Yep. Because for some reason this ruby will heal her sickness. How? Why don't we go and find the Penicillin instead? It's the giant Penicillin monster. The Penicillin. But whatever, we basically traded in for Tella for Edward, which in my opinion is a bad trade. Edward is one of my least favorite characters in the game, and in all RPG fashion, when a character dies, they blink out of existence. And then we gain access to the hovercraft. And we're going to immediately land and go in here. See, this is pretty much all it is. So we can head over to the right here into the storeroom, and we can get a whole bunch of treasure. And then, in true RPG fashion, once again, the soldier blinks out of existence because he's dead. But basically in here you can get a whole bunch of good stuff. There's a feathered cap, a crossbow, and a ruby ring. And here we have a potion, eye drops, antidote, holy arrows in that pot, phoenix down, ether, gold needle, holy arrows, and iron arrows. I think they're like 10 per pot or something like that. I really don't know. And then to leave you can just walk out to the right. And now we can get in our hovercraft. Edward is only level 5, so Bard's tunic and leather is basically the same thing. We're going to give him the iron ring instead. Let's see here, she has a feather cap, she already has the ice rod. Okay, never mind with all that stuff then. But Edward's only level 5, So we're going to go back to find those 2 monsters that I missed and level him up some. He can't use magic, although he does have songs that will produce a random effect. So yeah, let's go find those 2 monsters, or not. I thought we were. I was sworn we were. Maybe I do that after the antlion. I honestly forget. It's been like a month or 2 since I recorded this video. But yep, Antlion's Cave. So, what did we just get? And what am I doing? Oh yeah, putting Edward in the back row. He attacks with music. Yeah. He has a harp and he plays it, and that causes the monsters to go, "Oh my god, it's horrible," and then they take damage. And not that much damage either, and he really doesn't have a useful side effect. Sing can be somewhat useful, although barely ever. He could also hide, which does absolutely no good, because he's just out of battle. It makes him completely useless all the same. And he has an ability called Heal, or Salve, or something like that, where he basically takes an item like a potion and gives it to all 3 of the people. Now that would be useful if it healed 100 for each person, but it only heals around 20 or 30. So he's not all that great a character. I really don't like him all that much. And quite honestly, I don't see why he joined us. He really had no reason to. I mean, we just mentioned, oh, Rosa, pretty girl, my basically love interest. Can you help me? Oh yeah, sure, I have nothing better to do now that my girlfriend's dead. So, yeah, that's my basic summary of Edward. Heading up here, we can grab a tent and a potion. I have not been mentioning the enemies here. Basilisk, that orange lizard thing that we met up with earlier, we can, it could possibly stone you, I believe. And with the, what was the other thing? The Adamantoise, it has a lot of HP. However, both of those 2 are weak to ice. And you could also, and Adamantoise basically has a lot of HP, a lot of defense, and whatnot. Yellow Flan, which we just beat, it's like the red Flan, except it's weak to lightning. I hope you're noticing a pattern here. And over here, we can get Edward's new weapon, the Lamia Harp. It basically gives him more attack power and will confuse an enemy, I believe. Either confuse or put them to sleep. His first harp does the other effect. Now then, we can head up here to find a little side passage into which we could get to a save area and 3 more treasures: potion, ether, and emergency exit. And again, I go using the other pronunciation of ether, ether and ether. I will, again, like I said, I'll use them interchangeably. Now where are my tents? There they are. So we're going to use that tent. Dun, 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 and now you can tell if the video is off sync. And Cecil puts his hand up for whatever reason. And we can move on. So head back in here, we can grab this treasure chest up here, which is a potion. Not that great treasures. The waterway just beats all other places because it had all of Cecil's new equipment. And that's pretty much his, well, not really, never mind. Useless passageways, and we have a new enemy, Leshies. Nothing really special about them, I think. They take normal damage from physical attacks. I think they take less damage from spells. Let's just figure that out. Yeah, they take less damage from spells. And basically, heal takes one of your potions and splits it up among the 3 of you. However, I did not know that it takes one of your potions away. I just thought he randomly just healed everybody for 20 HP with the sound of his voice or something like that. That is not the case. He steals one of your potions. And I'm going to be using this through every single battle. So you can imagine how surprised I will be when I'm suddenly out of potions and unable to heal. It's going to be bad. But here we have our boss. Like, see, you could, if you remember, I have like 49 potions at the beginning of this. And now I have 24. I think it was 49, I don't know, I had a lot more. This is where the antlion lays its eggs. I don't see anything. I like how in the PSP remake this is like a giant quicksand pit. Okay, that's why it's... Oh my god! An RPG character that can jump! Oh wait, we also have Kane, never mind. Okay, so... Antlion, like the... Well, not like anything, what am I talking about? Okay. When you hit it with a physical attack, it will counterattack with Counter Horn, which will do around 20 damage, so it's nothing to be afraid about. So just keep on attacking, you'll get him done quicker. And that's pretty much it about him, nothing really special. I like, again, mentioning stuff that I like, but this time about the DS version, how they had his eyes change color, and when his eyes were white, if you hit him with an attack, he would counterattack, and when his eyes were red, if you hit him with magic, he would do a counterattack. So they kind of force you to switch it up, especially since attacks do a lot more damage in that one, and this guy's actually kind of dangerous. Unlike this version, where he only takes out, like, enough HP, whereas Edward's heal ability will heal that right up. Although it is using one of the potions. So, yeah. See, did 23 to Rydia, and she got back 12. And she can take, like, 10 more of those hits, but our antlion is already dead, so Edward gained a level. Ended up not grinding with Edward at all. It's not really that important. Now when you get Rydia at level 1, it is very important that you grind her, and that's one of the few times that I grind when I'm not looking for monsters in my Bestiary. That's the only other time that I grind. That's because I fight every single random encounter, unless things are looking really bad, then I run away. You see, I started that battle with like 24 potions, and now I have 20. So, just further proof that Edward is a thieving jerk. And now that we have the Sand Ruby, we can get on our fancy hovercraft and hover back on over to Damsian. Speaking of the hovercraft, you can only hover on the water that has the rocks in it. That's supposed to symbolize shallow water. So that's how that works. So you can take this shallow water all the way back to Kaipo. And you can go get Rosa. So we finally have a sorcerer. Oh yeah, you can hover in the water there. It's pretty funny. So let's go save Rosa now. We've already gotten all the stuff here, so we can just make a quick... Out of my way! Just make a quick visit and then go back. So, talk to Rosa and look through the inventory to find the Sand Ruby. And again, for some reason, the Sand Ruby works, while Penicillin does not. And now she's awake immediately at that. Yep, she's fine. Completely and totally fine. And now, for some reason, she knows who Golbez is, although it would have taken her a while to get here. How did she get here, too? Because Mist's earthquake caused that to fall, and it's impassable. You can't get back to, what's it called again? Baron. And she said she heard about it, so she came, so how did she get here? Seriously, how? I never thought of this. So, okay, maybe she is still a little sick. So we're going to go to Fabul, but we have to go to Mount Hobbs, which for whatever reason is blocked by an iceberg. And Rydia cannot use fire, as I've mentioned before. Rosie, you're not coming with us. Oh, yes I am. I'm a white mage. I can just use Cure on myself. Oh, that's right. Well then. You'd actually be very helpful. And Rosa is very helpful. Okay, we're going to go together, make sure to get plenty of rest, and White Mage Rosa has joined the party. Hooray! She will allow us to put our crossbow and iron arrows to use. I don't know why I don't use the holy arrows. I feel that they're more important and I should use them only at a later point. However, I never end up using them anyways. I always end up selling them. So, although I equip the iron arrows to Rosa. At least for an upcoming boss, I suggest you equip the... Well, no, you don't really need the holy arrows. Just have the holy arrows on at all time. I mean, you have like 20 or 30 of them, and it's not like Rosa's going to do nothing but attacking. She's mostly going to be healing. Those arrows are just more for when you have less of a chance. Either way, Edward is suddenly attacked by a Sahagin, and then all of a sudden, a spirit of Anna shows up and tells him that he can be strong and believe in himself, and all that cliche crap. And we can beat up the Sahagin with the power of music. And then it dies, and Edward gets 800 experience, my god. So Anna, hooray, you're here, and now you must leave, and you're going to blink away in RPG fashion again. Audacity stopped for a second, I got very scared. And all of a sudden, everybody knows about Golbez. I mean, Rosa, Anna, everybody in my party now. Although Anna kind of mentioned him first, so I guess that kind of works. But how would they know that Golbez is under the attack? Whatever. We're just going to leave all these questions unanswered forever, and video's pretty much over. We'll start the next one with the monsters I missed, and I will see you all next time.